Hi, good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about nuts and seeds. I've been getting a lot of questions about the fact whether you should soak them or whether you should eat them dry. So I thought I'd talk about why we should soak most nuts and most seeds before consuming them. Well, you see a nut and a seed, okay, in nature that's supposed to germinate and grow into a plant. But basically, when a nut and seed is in its raw form and it's not mixing with water, it's meant to be dry. What I mean by this is only when a nut and seed mixes with water, that's when the whole germination process starts and, the growth of a nut or a seed into a plant or into a tree. So nature's natural defense mechanism is to protect the nut and seed in its dry form, which means it cannot spoil. It holds possible and potential life for a new plant or a new tree. Now, while nuts and seeds are great for our health, right, from essential fatty acids to protein and amino acids, minerals, it's fantastic. It's one of the best raw foods that you could ever have in your plan. But we should be soaking these nuts and seeds, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why we should be doing that today. So nature, like I said, needs to protect the raw form of a nut or a seed. So it covers the nut or seed with phytic acid, or it covers it with certain enzyme inhibitors, or it covers it with certain amount of tannins. And that's great for protecting the seed. And when the seed falls into the ground or you put water onto it, that's when the water and the seed starts off the process of germination or growth. So until water hits a seed or a nut, it's basically protected. Now, when we consume dry seeds and dry nuts, the problem that happens is enzyme inhibitors that's protecting the nuts and seeds may not be too good for the insides of our system. First of all, what are enzymes? You have two kinds of enzymes. You have a digestive enzyme, which has the role of breaking down food in the human body, and then you have metabolic enzymes, which basically works with the biology of the human body. Now, enzyme inhibitors, like the word suggests, when that gets into our system, it binds on to certain minerals and vitamins that we have. So these enzyme inhibitors basically interferes with our enzymatic reactions in the body, which means it can actually impair digestion in the human body. It can be very, very heavy on our digestive systems if these enzyme inhibitors get into our system. So that's one reason why we soak our nuts and seeds, so that we break away those enzyme inhibitors, and it's easier for our bodies and our stomach to digest and break down the nuts and seeds. The second thing, they're naturally covered with tannins. Now, tannins are not a bad thing because we find tannins in even the tea that we drink, in black tea, in green tea. But tannins sometimes blocks the absorption of iron into our body. So if we've just had a meal, or we're eating nuts for their protein, or we're eating seeds for a variety of minerals, basically the tannins that we also ingest blocks the absorption of iron into our system. So that becomes a problem as well. Phytic acid. Nature covers most seeds and nuts and grains with something called phytates. Now, phytates are anti-nutrients, which means they bind on to iron, magnesium, copper, and zinc in our colon. So, we're consuming good food, but we're not absorbing it. And like I always say, it's not about what you eat. It's about how your body breaks down and absorbs what you eat. That's extremely important. So we want to wash away this phytic acid by soaking your nuts, by soaking grains, by soaking seeds in water, so that the phytic acid, the enzyme inhibitors, the tannins, all kind of get, washed away. And also, by soaking nuts and seeds, you make the protein in a form which can be better assimilated by the human body. By soaking certain grains, we also help break down that very tough gluten, which causes a problem in most people today. So right from your legumes to your grains to your lentils to your nuts and seeds, it's a good idea soaking them. Now, I recommend 6 to 8 hours. For grains and legumes, it's totally different. Sometimes it could be 12 hours in warm water with a little bit of salt or a little bit of apple cider vinegar or plain vinegar to break down all these chemicals, so that when we ingest it, we're getting the best out of seeds and nuts. Why I particularly like soaking certain seeds, like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, because you'll see that they even start sprouting post, a night of soaking. And that's great. That has so much of nutrition. Just imagine a seed holds the potential life of a plant or a tree. So that's nutrient dense, vitamins and minerals all in that one seed, which if you sprout, you have much more nutrition and much better health benefits. So get into a habit of soaking your nuts and soaking your seeds. The third reason over and above just nutrition is, have you ever figured where dried fruits dried nuts and seeds are stored. They're stored in large warehouses all over. And I don't know about other countries, but in India, usually we have a lot of unhygienic conditions. We have rats and we have rodents all around, roaming on these places. And if they're taking like a pee on all of these things which are out there lying on factory and warehouse floors, we're putting a lot of toxins and dirt into our system. So I definitely suggest washing and soaking your nuts. They taste better and it has a better nutritional impact in your body. Have a good day, everyone. Make sure that you have nuts and seeds in your daily diet, because that's how you get raw into your diet. Remember what I always say, cooked food is dead food. You're cooking food, you're killing all of the enzymes, most of the nutrition. So we want to have a proportion of raw food that we get from fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. And remember, fermenting your grains also increases the B vitamin absorption into your body. Have a good day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.